The Houston Area Women's Center began in 1977 with a small group of volunteers, a few phones, a box of index cards with referral information, and a passionate commitment to helping women rebuild lives torn apart by violence. When the calls began coming in, the volunteers quickly realized how few resources there were for women trapped in violent relationships, for children who had witnessed that violence, and really for anyone who had been a victim of sexual assault. Piece by piece, the Houston Area Women's Center began assembling what is now a comprehensive set of programs that help women, children, and men who have been affected by domestic and sexual violence move their lives forward. Our mission is to help individuals affected by domestic and sexual violence in their efforts to move their lives forward. We provide shelter, counseling, and advocacy to help them build lives that are free from the effects of the violence they've suffered. We seek social change to end domestic and sexual violence through community awareness, education, and primary prevention programs. Our services are free, and despite our name, our services are available to everyone, women, men, and children. Simply put, at the Houston Area Women's Center, we change lives, and we save lives. We've been doing this work for more than 35 years, and we know that to be successful, we need strong financial and community support. What makes our agency unique is not only the scope of services we offer, but the scale at which we offer them. We operate the only residential emergency shelter for victims of domestic violence within Houston city limits, and we are Houston's Rape Crisis Center for victims of sexual assault. Our services touch the lives of approximately 60,000 individuals, and we reach another 30,000 through our community education and training programs each year. Our approach to domestic and sexual violence is multifaceted, and our services span a continuum of client needs. In addition to serving individuals, we also work to make community systems and institutions more responsive to victims. By changing laws, by working with law enforcement agencies, prosecutors, and medical personnel, we assure that survivors are believed and supported, and that perpetrators are held accountable. We also have talented, well-trained, and dedicated volunteers whose multiple contributions allow us to extend our capacity. Volunteers provide critical staffing on the hotline. They work with children at our shelter and with clients in our transitional housing, counseling, and children's court services programs. They conduct drives for school supplies, holiday gifts, career clothing, and the everyday necessities provided at the shelter. They help translate educational materials, assist with special events, and the list goes on and on. We simply could not meet the demands or address the complex needs of our clients without our volunteers. People serve people, and it is our people who bring our mission to life. I'm always amazed when I see how skillful and dedicated our staff is in helping empower our clients. They are the ones that answer the distress calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're the ones that work closely with our shelter clients to keep them safe and to help them begin the process of rebuilding their lives. It is our staff that counsels our clients and helps them heal from their trauma and overcome the devastating experiences that they've suffered. It is our staff that goes out into the community every day to talk about the issues of domestic and sexual violence, how to recognize it, and how to prevent it. Our staff makes the impossible happen every day. In addition to our staff, we are blessed to have a talented, resourceful, and committed board of directors that contribute immeasurably to our effectiveness as an organization. Bringing diverse backgrounds, talents, and expertise, they provide informed strategic direction, solid stewardship of our resources, and a true passion for our work. They are generous with their time, their abilities, their community connections, and their financial support. In every program area, we constantly measure our outcomes. We systematically collect and analyze feedback from our clients about their experiences with the agency. And we use this feedback to strengthen our programs and services. As a result, I'm proud to say that we've gotten high marks from our clients for our program and service delivery. We also receive funding from a number of sources, including government granting agencies and the United Way. As such, we undergo program and financial audits and reviews throughout the year that measure our progress against program delivery and financial targets. I'm also pleased to share that we receive clean audits and reviews and frequently receive high praise from our reviewers. Program effectiveness is only one measure of success. We develop annual plans and budgets each year that flow from our current 4-year strategic plan. Where possible, annual goals and objectives include clear metrics by which we can assess our success. We started out in 1977 focusing exclusively on violence against women, but we've since expanded our services to include men and children. Yes, the Houston Area Women's Center offers counseling and a host of support services for men and children. On any given day, about half of the residents at our shelter are children, who are often the forgotten victims of domestic violence. We also have counseling services for children who don't stay at our shelter. And we go out to schools and other youth-centered community programs to talk to children and teens about dating violence. Another little-known aspect of the Women's Center is our Children's Court Services program. This program works with children who are victims or witnesses to violent crime to help them understand and participate more effectively in what is often an intimidating court process. In the last 3.5 decades of doing this work, we've made major strides in how society views the crimes of domestic violence and sexual assault. Think back to 1977. Actions that were once considered taboo personal matters and never discussed publicly are now considered crimes and are far less tolerated by the general community. Back then, we blamed the victim. Now we place accountability for these crimes where it belongs, on the perpetrators. 35 years ago, there were virtually no resources available to victims of domestic and sexual violence to help them heal from the trauma they'd suffered. We've made tremendous progress in changing societal attitudes and beliefs, in changing laws, creating more responsive legal and medical systems, and in taking care of victims. But we still have much work to do and many more to serve before we can realize our ultimate vision of ending domestic and sexual violence in our community. Despite the recent economic downturn, we've been able to continue to provide the quality programs and services that our clients and the community have come to expect from the Houston Area Women's Center. As a team, we decided early on that we would not sacrifice the quality of services and that we'd do everything possible to make sure we could keep our doors open for all who needed our services. We experienced a sharp increase in demand for services in late 2008 and throughout 2009. By strategically and intentionally investing reserve funds, controlling costs, streamlining our operations, and reshaping some of our programs, we've been able to meet the increased demand without sacrificing quality. Since that time, we have steadily grown our revenue sources and continued our careful management of expenses and programs to achieve financial stability. This will ensure that we are here as long as clients need our services and that we can continue to push forward in our efforts to end domestic and sexual violence. The constantly changing economy affects all businesses, especially nonprofit organizations. Additionally, we always face the misinformation that's out there in our society about domestic and sexual violence. We deal with one of the few areas where the actual victim is too often blamed for being victimized. Sexual assault victims are put on trial when they come forward to report that they've been raped. Domestic violence victims are often not believed by the police, family, and friends. Separating myths and facts about domestic violence in the minds of the community is an ongoing process. Just defining for people the dynamics of domestic and sexual violence, why we struggle as a society with these issues, and what can be done to prevent this type of violence is part of our mission and an important part of what we do to change attitudes and behaviors. Our current strategic plan focuses on delivering high-quality core services to as many as possible. Where we encounter gaps in services, we seek to fill those gaps through strong community partnerships with other organizations. We know that we are the very best at what we do, but we also know that we cannot meet all of the needs our clients come to us with, and that there are other organizations that can bring helpful services and resources that benefit our clients. Our current plans call for building a strong operational infrastructure to support future growth. Should additional resources become available, we'll go through a thorough planning process to assess what services are missing or are under-resourced and determine how our mission can best be achieved through program additions or expansion. We know there are many opportunities to do more for our existing clients, to reach more and serve more clients, and to increase our prevention efforts. We've observed over the last few years that our clients are coming to us with more complex needs that will require more intensive services. Also, in an effort to operate more efficiently in the face of financial constraints during the past few years, our bench strength has become woefully thin. Before considering any major program expansion, we would need to carefully look at our staffing levels and patterns to be sure that we can effectively support new activity. We know that we don't reach every individual in our community who is affected by domestic and sexual violence. There are thousands and thousands who tragically do not know that help is available to them. We know that these crimes are frequently underreported and that victims are often isolated and self-blaming. To reach more with our life-saving, life-changing services, we need to broaden our community awareness efforts. As we do that, we in turn create more demand for our services across the board. If we are ever to see that need go down, we have got to do more to end domestic and sexual violence. While we have a great violence prevention education program that we know from research works, we are unable to reach everyone. Houston has a very diverse population, and we simply cannot get to every community because of limited resources. It would be wonderful to have an educator for every community. We'd like nothing more than to be everywhere talking to everyone about preventing domestic and sexual violence. But there are language and cultural barriers that we simply cannot address with our current resources. We strongly believe that education is the key to societal change. We've seen this firsthand with our training and community education participants. The more people learn about the causes and impact of domestic and sexual violence, the more they want to do to stop it. It would be wonderful if we could reach more people with our evidence-based primary prevention programs, changing the attitudes and behaviors of individuals, families, schools, houses of worship, neighborhoods, and communities. This is how we will end the violence before it ever starts. This is the future we want for Houston. We look forward to the day when violence is a part of our past, not a part of our daily reality.